Welcome to the Echoes of the Forgotten, the Threadwalker of 13 Mirrors, Genesis, and the world's first time travel game. Face your reflection, break the lie, remember. What follows is not ordinary. This is a living mirror. In the future, we call this cavitation, a transmission that will meet you exactly as you are. If you come with an open heart, it will lift and advance you. If you come closed, it may shake you until you remember how to open. To enter the halls of the forgotten require two keys, mirror images of each other. You do not find these keys, you fashion them. The keys are meditation and prayer. Meditation is listening to the Creator. Prayer is speaking to the Creator. Meditation is a shield that feels what hits you, while prayer is a sword that strikes true with aim and purpose. Continue if you dare to care. Step gently, bring your best self. This mirror cannot be broken because it was made of you. This is how the forgotten become the remembered. And if you succeed, the remembered become a Threadwalker. The forgotten remove the lie and keep the truth. To face them is to face your own face. These are places no map can hold, places where the immortals themselves refuse to look. They are the forgotten realms. You cannot stumble here by chance. You arrive when the outer game can no longer hide the inner game. The forgotten do not punish, they strip. They take away the lie and leave only what is true. To step in is to meet yourself without armor, without excuse, without expectation. Defeat threatens all in the forgotten realms. Many run, few remain. Those who face their own face become something no power can break, no force can stop, and no energy can contain. They become the remembered. Once you enter the forgotten realms, each mirror of the 13 has 3 keys. Key 1, problem. Key 2, mirror. And key 3, solution. The problem is the wound. The wound is the truth we avoid. The mirror is the world, the environment that exposes that wound. And the solution is the lesson when you are ready. The way through and the gift for those who endure and succeed. Let's start with number 1 in white at the crown chakra, Uranus, the mirror of embarrassment and the forgotten called distortion. His trial, wound, and problem is the immortal of law must walk without authority. The king who always commands must step forward and ask for help. He has no crown here. The environment or mirror in which he must navigate through are floating glass citadels reflecting his pride. They crack and collapse when he tries to hold them alone. The higher he climbs, the more fragile and delicate everything becomes. The lesson from Uranus, offering enlightenment, not demanding it. Authority is not control. It is the gift of shared strength. To win here, one must give away what you most value, command. The inner world of health. You are not weakened by asking, you are strengthened by sharing. The outer world of wealth. Leadership is a circle, not a throne. What is Uranus's realization? From the highest throne I observe, not to rule, but to uphold continuity. When all else breaks, let my law remain. And what shifts in consciousness? The mirror of embarrassment and distortion become the law that holds. Number 2, in purple, at the third eye chakra, Sun, the mirror of temptation and the forgotten called deception. His trial, wound, and problem? The champion of order must face being uninvited. The judge who believes order gives him the right to enter every door and reveal every secret. Every law he makes locks him further out. The environment or reflection in which he must navigate are infinite hallway of golden doors, each labeled not yours. A labyrinth of doors, every door locked, and none belong to him. His light burns, but cannot open them. And the lesson that sun reveals: respect is earned when you stop crossing lines. Only when he knocks gently and waits do the doors open. Optimal health of sun is respect boundaries as you do the stars. And the optimal wealth of sun, true order, is born from trust, not control or intrusion. The sun's realization: I reveal what hides in shadow. Stand tall in the sovereign blaze of your own truth. And the consciousness shift: the mirror of temptation and deception become the crown of perspective. Number 3, Neptune in blue at the throat chakra, the mirror of wrath and the forgotten called delusion. Her trial, wound, and problem: the fortune bringer who speaks in silver must lose her voice in a storm of her own rage. The environment she must navigate is a sea with no surface. Waves spiral upward like serpents, roaring back her voice. And the lesson of Neptune: speak after the silence, not in the storm. Trade wrath for truth. Truth rises when wrath sinks. Her health: wait for still waters, then speak. Her wealth: your greatest wealth is calm clarity. Her realization spoken: I am the tide that listens. Through storms of wrath, I return to calm. Speak only when your silence has taught you the shape of truth. The shift in consciousness: the mirror of wrath and delusion becomes the flow of truth. Number 4, Venus in green at the heart chakra, the mirror of envy and the forgotten called betrayal. Her trial, wound, and problem: the beloved must stand invisible while others are adorned. She cannot bear to be unseen. The environment she finds herself is a jungle of crystal trees that bloom for everyone but her. Every flower she touches turns away. The lesson that Venus shares: love is abundance, not possession. Love the beauty you inspire, not just the beauty you hold. Her harmonious health: she blooms when she nurtures others without needing to be seen. And her balanced wealth: love given freely multiplies beauty. The ultimate realization: serve with gratitude, not fear. Through beauty and kindness, build your world anew. The consciousness shift: the mirror of envy and betrayal become the harmony of service. Number 5, Jupiter in yellow at the solar plexus, the mirror of sloth and the forgotten called excess. His trial, wound, and problem is: nothing grows unless he moves it himself. The immortal of expansion must build when all collapses around him. The builder who waits for a perfect moment. The environment he moves through and faces is a city frozen mid-motion. Skyscrapers hang mid-collapse. Gears rust. Birds hang motionless in the air. No life in motion, everything still. The lesson that Jupiter finds is: greatness is not waiting for perfect timing. It is motion itself. With each act of creation, the city awakens. Reaching health: move. Even one step awakens creation. Reaching wealth: activity is the heartbeat of expansion. The realization discovered is: I am the breath between action and rest. Through excess, I learn the dance of balance. Move with purpose, and the universe will move with you. The consciousness that energized: the mirror of sloth becomes the rhythm of motion. Number 6, Mercury in orange at the gut chakra, the mirror of gluttony and the forgotten called fragmentation. His trial, wound, and problem: the genius, immortal of advancement and technology, faces tools that consume and master him. The environment he must navigate is a clockwork forge that keeps swallowing itself, fractal patterns constantly consuming and creating patterns and designs, chaotic yet harmonic beats, powered and moved through intention of universal care and karma. The lesson that Mercury produces: innovation is responsibility. Tools must serve life, not consume it. He must stop inventing simply because he can and discover what matters. Use invention without being used by it. The health of evolution: invent with purpose, not hunger. The wealth of innovation: tools must serve life, not feed on it. Realization and genius: I give you tools, not answers. Write your destiny in action, not theory. And the consciousness that improved: the mirror of gluttony and fragmentation, becomes the spark of evolution and appetency. Number 7. Mars in red at the root chakra, the mirror of lust and the forgotten, called consumption. His trial, wound, and problem is the crusader's burning heart must hold passion without control, whose desire consumes everything he touches. The environment or mirror in which he must navigate through are volcanic plains where geysers of molten desire erupt at every step and every passion erupts uncontrollably. The lesson that Mars provides: devotion is love without ownership, passion without possession. When he learns to hold without taking, the ground becomes solid. The health: hold the fire without burning. The wealth: desire becomes strength when it no longer takes. The realization: I am the fire that builds, not burns. Through consumption, I choose what is worth holding and what must be released. The consciousness shift made real: the mirror of lust and consumption become the forge of desire. Number 8. Pluto in brown at the thigh chakras. Yes, that's right. You have more chakras than you were told in these realms. The mirror of regret and the forgotten, called oppression. His trial, wound, and problem is the immortal of culture must undo the masks he wears. He hides behind 1,000 masks. Every mask he puts on becomes permanent and painful to remove. The environment and mirror in which he must navigate through are an infinite stage with thousands of faces. Each one promises safety, but locks him in a false life. No one is genuine, many lie. The lesson that Pluto ends on: freedom through authenticity. Freedom is found when you remove the masks, even if the world sees the scars beneath. The health: when removed, each bare detail and curve tells a story of your experiences. The wealth: freedom is truth without costume. The realization: I am the mask removed. Through oppression, I break the chains I forged for myself. To see as I am is my greatest art. The shift in consciousness: the mirror of regret and oppression become the freedom of authenticity. Number 9. Moon in gray at the shin chakra, the mirror of ignorance and the forgotten, called oblivion. Her trial, wound, and problem is the navigator of support must choose when she cannot see. Knowledge fails. The environment in which she navigates is an ocean of mirrors with no horizon. Every path reflects, none lead forward. The lesson the moon supports is awareness comes from faith, not sight. Wisdom comes from trust, not certainty. She must walk without knowing and allow awareness to be born from faith. The ultimate health: trust is a vision of its own. The ultimate wealth: awareness is born in the step you cannot predict. The realization: beneath your feet lies the dream, and in your stillness the key. Choose with care, for your heart shapes the stars. The consciousness shift: the mirror of ignorance and oblivion become the root of compassion. Number 10. Saturn in black, the feet chakra, the mirror of greed and the forgotten, called decay. His trial, wound, and problem: the worker of time must labor for what cannot be owned, climbing forever, believing fulfillment is at the top. The worker must climb a tower that offers nothing. Each floor is a more demanding, more alluring, yet empty. The environment is a spiral tower made of gold that rises forever, no end in sight. The lesson that Saturn works out is what you give freely returns beyond measure. What you clutch turns to dust. True fulfillment cannot be kept. The best health, lay the burden down. The best wealth, what you give freely cannot be taken from you. The realization, I am the hand that sows, not clutches. Through decay, I remember the work that endures. In patience, all things return to balance. The shift in consciousness, the mirror of greed and decay, becomes the pillar of time. Number 11, shadow, in transparent color, as your shadow chakra, the mirror of obedience and the forgotten called submission. The trial, wound, and problem. The silent one who obeys commands that costs him love. The environment and mirror, endless corridors of voices, every sound a command. The lesson that shadow shares, obedience is strength only when chosen. The greatest strength is saying no when no one else will. The health, refuse what destroys love, no matter who speaks it. The wealth, true strength, says no when principles rise. The realization, I remember all that you've forgotten. Heal your past, and I will reveal your path. The consciousness, the mirror of obedience and submission, becomes the participator in silence. Number 12, star, at the full body chakra, in rainbow color. The mirror of hate and the forgotten called neglect. The trial, wound, and problem, the luminary of influence must shine for those who hate and despise him. The environment or mirror found is a field of black suns that try to devour his light. The lesson, brilliance beyond resentment. Light shines brighter when it has nothing to prove. The achieved health, shine even for those who curse you. The achieved wealth, hate has no power over a light that shines for its own sake. The realization, I am the echo of all paths, the voice beneath your choices. Through hate and compassion, I learn to shine without needing to blind. I am the echo of all paths, the voice beneath your choice, the untouchable shine, not to be seen, but to remember who you are. The shift in consciousness is the mirror of hate and neglect become the pulse of identity. Lastly, number 13, villain, in patina, as the rust upon your chakra, the mirror of fear and the forgotten called annihilation. The epic trial, wound, and problem is the catalyst of competition, must compete with himself in contention. No opponent exists but the mirror. The environment is a broken and shattered coliseum. The stands are empty. The only enemy is his reflection, which fights with all his fury. The lesson that villain performs is the battle ends when you no longer fight yourself. Fear conquers nothing, only dissolves when faced. The unbeatable health, stop fighting yourself. The unstoppable wealth, when fear dissolves, you stand whole. The realization of mastery, I am not your enemy. I am your test. Face me and find your flame. The shift to the right place at the right time in consciousness, the mirror of fear and annihilation become the edge of becoming within the seam of creation. Now, what happens when you remember? When the forgotten are faced, the mirror no longer holds you. The trial ends, the lesson of truth remains, and the lie you carried dissolves. Each of these realms are universal. Though written for the immortals, they are our own faces. Each player, in life or in the game, carries these trials. The cards are mirrors. When a player pulls a forgotten card, they aren't just gaining power, they are being invited to remove the lie in themselves. When they win, they don't conquer another, they remember. 13 mirrors, 13 realms, 13 lessons. You become the Threadwalker. To recap, the 13 forgotten. 1. Uranus, distortion, twisting of law and form. 2. Sun, deception, veil over sensation and sight. 3. Neptune, delusion, collapse of belief and vitality. 4. Venus, betrayal, perverting trust and devotion. 5. Jupiter, excess, expansion without aim, energy without rest. 6. Mercury, fragmentation, shattering of innovation and tools. 7. Mars, consumption, desire devouring itself and others. 8. Pluto, oppression, twisting balance into tyranny. 9. Moon, oblivion, forgetting awareness and choice. 10. Saturn, decay, breaking growth and fulfillment. 11. Shadow, submission, yielding principles and freedom. 12. Star, neglect, abandoning contribution and influence. 13. Villain, annihilation, total contest of worth and victory. Face your reflection, break the lie. Remember, this is why the forgotten are feared. They hold up a mirror that doesn't lie. But those brave enough to face it become remembered, the all. And when in harmony, the Threadwalker, the one, emerges in the game of life. This is true victory. Are you ready to meet yourself in the space between time and walk the karmic threads? Do not fear the forgotten. Fear only the moment you turn away from your own reflection. Dare to face it, and you will no longer be forgotten. Care to break free. You will be remembered. Face, break, remember. Destiny is your compass now, Threadwalker.